Hey, what's up, mortals? It's MikeyMac here. Welcome to part 3 of What If Obito Uchiha Won the War. Just wanted to greet you guys by saying sit back and relax, cause you're in for a treat. And so we begin. A skull cracked from the tremendous force. Pain rippled through the body of Hashirama, just like adrenaline in Obito. But even after being split, there was no blood oozing out. Wounds were getting healed almost instantly. That was a feat only Ito Tensei could offer. Hashirama was left stunned for several moments, almost even losing his balance and falling off the ascending wood branch, but he seemed to hold tight to reality. But not as quickly as Obito, who wasted no time in delivering a series of headbutts to Hashirama. They came one after the other, but in consecutive blurs. Even to the mighty Lord First, they seemed like nothing but blurs. Perhaps his sensing abilities may have caught hold of the activity, but his body was in shock that was rapidly generating when it felt like it was fading away. This style of fighting wasn't one that the crowd below would think fit the Ten Tails Jinchuriki, but it didn't matter. The adrenaline within guided his actions. He let it blur his gaze to the future, a sinister smile dressing his gray and emerald face. "You'll soon go to sleep too," Obito Uchiha murmured, his words aimed at Hashirama, filled with intent of ending him, just like he did with Naruto Uzumaki and Sasuke Uchiha. The healing process of the Ito Tensei was quick and catching up to the damage done, but it was still behind, leaving Hashirama vulnerable for probably seconds. Even Obito could see that, taking this special chance like a child given a candy that he longed for. His right hand equipped with a transfigured Truth-Seeker ball, transformed into something like a blade, prepared to cleave whatever was in its path, and it moved toward the first Hokage with a clear purpose. It closed the gap exceedingly fast, and it hit something hard. For a moment, Obito thought he was triumphant, only to be proven wrong. His sword clashed single-handedly with something that spiraled endlessly. He tilted his head to his right to get a better look. His crimson eyes glared at Minato with an outstretched hand filled with a huge Rasengan. Not his actual hand, but a projection from Kurama's chakra that surrounded him like a cloak. Obito wondered for a second why the Rasengan stood against his all-powerful tool before the answer finally came. Senjutsu. While he and Hashirama had their fight going, it was crystal clear the others below had something up their sleeves. That is what saved Hashirama. Obito's facial expression deteriorated from a mad smile into a frown, like he'd encountered a problem that he deemed difficult. Minato pushed on, putting pressure on his adversary. Another arm projected from his Kurama cloak and moved toward Obito, and just like the last, it was equipped with a Senjutsu-infused Rasengan, spiraling with devastation, ready to cause havoc at the slightest contact. Obito saw it coming, and the speed of the attack was on a whole nother level. If not for his ability to track it and not respond, he would have thought that it was teleported to him rather than him being directly attacked. The attack hit Obito plainly on the chest. It spiraled and left him in a cycle of pain and sorrow, his body twisted in utter agony. He welcomed the pain, but that didn't change what it was. It was pain in its rawest form. It left his chest dented, a hole coming into shape there. This was the extent of a Senjutsu-enhanced attack, the damage prevailing and even wrecking the defensive skin of a Ten Tails Jinchuriki. Minato's face didn't show any expression besides perhaps that empty sadness that lingered after the loss of a loved one. It couldn't be mistaken. Almost every shinobi here had once had that expression at one point in their life. It was a common thing among the life of a shinobi. It was mixed in with their lifestyle. Obito was propelled backward by the force alone, sent flying meters away, and his ability to fly was lost. He fell down as gravity did its work, grasping and dragging Obito down to the earth. His body slammed into the ground, little clouds of dust rising, surrounding him and obscuring him from the view of the others. The dust cloud cleared, leaving his body visible. To the others, he looked vulnerable, perhaps even dead. Not many could survive a fall from such a height. Death was a near certain outcome for any ordinary shinobi. But the question remained, was Obito dead? His body was positioned in an awkward way, his hands twisted and contorted in unreal positions. There were bound to be complications or injuries. "Is he dead?" the majority of the Shinobi Alliance asked as curiosity overtook them. Was this the end of the long battle? Newfound hope built up in their hearts, only to be crushed, just like before, as Obito's arm twitched. His arms that were contorted in a strange way seemed to heal and twist back, just going back to their normal positions. His lower limbs that were affected from the life-threatening fall shifted back into the right and healthy positions. This was the healing prowess of the ten-tailed Jinchuriki. He started to stand, but slowly, his hand pressed on the acrid earth. He pushed himself upward. His knees straightened out, trying their best to support his body. He was in pain despite his healing ability, that was certain. Finally standing, gasps traveled through the length of the Shinobi Alliance, the majority apparently in shock at something they were glaring at. There was a little, but not too deep hole in the body of Obito, most likely caused by Minato's Rasengan. The ten-tailed Jinchuriki spread his arms as far as they would go, spreading them to his sides as if he welcomed the pain that coursed through him. He used it as some sort of motivation. An adrenaline flowed through his entirety, and that sinister smile came back to his face. The Nunoboko manifested once more in his hand, a weapon of great power and might, and with that Obito dove toward the Shinobi Alliance. A mix of shock and fear became visible on the faces of the Shinobi Alliance. The ten-tailed Jinchuriki coming directly at Jonins and Chunins was nothing to be happy about. They questioned themselves. In what looked like their final minutes, would this be how they died? Obito swung his huge weapon at the mass in a high hope of birthing a massacre, but it wasn't fruitful, at least not yet. The god of Shinobi had come to their rescue once more, manipulating his chakra and using it to cause several strong vines to lash out from the ground to grasp the great sword. Yes, some were cut off into pieces, shredded to the point of irrelevance, but even more came, a sea of vines that were committed to their sole duty, which happened to be bringing an end of the sword's movement. The ninjas closest to the sword leapt backward, distancing themselves from danger and deciding to help out in the process. The hidden mist ninjas were the first to attack, their hands coming together in conjunction, forming several hand seals that molded their chakra to meet their requirements, and from their mouth came a large amount of mist. It clouded and hindered vision, but that wasn't the general purpose of it. Most of them, probably including their enemy, could do without their vision. The Shinobi Alliance were not blinded through strategic planning. Sensory units performed their duties while Ino linked their minds with the general Shinobi Alliance, releasing details of what occurred with every present living individual. The Mist Ninjas continued their silent assault, forming new hand seals that had effects on their chakra. They spewed mist from their mouth once more, but this time it wasn't to hinder vision, but to harm the ten-tailed Jinchuriki. The mist was corrosive, and with the slightest contact it would cause skin to peel off and corrode. Obito's senses were in disarray. He did not react to the hidden mist technique. Then why react to a technique with the same mechanics? It just wouldn't make sense in any way. The corrosive mist mixed with the smokescreen mist. They became one and plagued Obito together. Pain shot through his body, coursing through him as the mist effect started to kick in on the slightest contact. He was startled for a minute before he finally realized what was happening. For someone like him with a baffling battle acuity and understanding, it wouldn't be difficult to decrypt the style and nature of the attack used against him. It was smart, he thought to himself silently, giving them that little praise his human self was able to give out. He exercised dominance over his weapons, using them creatively and defensively to fend off the attack. They weren't senjutsu-based, so it wouldn't be much to worry about. The Truth Seeker ball transfigured into a bigger sphere, one that surrounded Obito and acted as a protective cocoon. It cut off the supply of corrosive and obscuring mist, while from within he made use of his Truth Seeker balls to nullify the rest inside, manipulating their movement to the point of contact was necessary. The mist just seemingly faded away. From outside, everyone just seemed to hammer their attacks against him. They saw this as a sign of hope. To them, the predator was in a corner. But this wasn't even close to being true. While they all attacked him ferociously, their focus moved from the divine tree to him completely, leaving the fruit to continually prepare itself to bloom. The time was near. He could feel it. That swelling power that was just waiting for the perfect time to erupt and take the world along with it in its overwhelming tide of dream and fantasy. Thank you all for indulging yourselves in the story thus far. I sure hope you're enjoying it. Now, there are a few more things that I'd like to go over before the video ends. Firstly, we have a primary channel called We the Celestials. We the Celestials is what we do here already, but their content's centered around the crazy world and lore of My Hero Academia. So please, check us out over there if you're feeling in the mood for a roller coaster of quirky content. We also have another relative to our channel, Anime Deep Dive. Anime Deep Dive goes deep into the facts and lore of a wide variety of anime. It's sure to expand your weeb knowledge for all kinds of series, guaranteed. I'd like to let you know on behalf of We the Celestials that we'd like to thank everyone involved in the production of today's awesome content. Their details will be in the description below. If you're perhaps interested in what we do here at WTC, then I'd like to extend an invitation for you to join the team. The only caveat being that we only accept members who are 16 or older to join the crew. You can find us on our Discord, which you can also locate in the description below. Our Discord's an all-around fantastic place to be, whether you're a fan or just looking to join our band of misfits. All you gotta do is hit up the recruitment server and sign up for whichever category of work fulfills your interests. We are always looking for members to join us. Well, that's it for today's video. So thanks for watching, guys, and have a great day.